Hello and welcome to File Gaming, and this is Starcom Nexus by WX3 Labs. Now, full disclaimer before we start this video, this was a free Steam key given to me by the developers to bring the game to you guys' attention. So, we'll get straight in, we'll go for a new game, we're going to change that, well we don't need to change that, but we're going to go for, we're going to call it the price. So we're going to start. Hopefully this doesn't overwrite my current game, but if it does, oh well. There's a few mistakes that I made. I'm just going to turn down that volume a little bit. So, here we are. There's not much to do at the beginning, it's more of a tutorial, everything changes. So we got a handle. Oh, we got a handle that. Oh, it does it anyway. So as you can see, a lot of it is the interaction is all multiple choice text. So we've got to get to the marker, which is down here, the flashing one. So we'll go ahead and do that. Don't have a boost or anything yet, so see we have a little basic weapon. And sometimes from shooting those you'll get resources, so sometimes it may be worth to do so. So yeah, this is where the game really starts. Apparently it's put us in. Oh dear. That's not good, is it? And there we are. We can't run away anymore. Try and get some resources. Ah, nothing there. So yeah, this is a very new, it's only come out in the last couple of days, indie game. Obviously on Steam. It's purchasable, and here we are. These guys are actually the bad guys, so and oof. Yeah, we'll just take all that. So we have no idea where we are. It's completely unmapped. So we're gonna move towards the station, and what we're gonna encounter, well, we'll see. It's a ship. What happens if I just stay still? Yep, they fire anyway. So they're always gonna fire on me anyway. So I've had a bit of experience. This is a beatable ship. And there we are. And we can get resources from that. There we are. We didn't really take any hull damage or anything like that, which is good. Later enemies you'll take a lot of hull damage if you stick to this basic configuration. Obviously with one little cannon you won't be able to do much, but You're still fairly slow. So here we are. Here's the station, which was pulled into the same area we were. I'm gonna do that. So, yeah. Now, you can use the blueprints with stuff like that, but we're not going to do that. We have our bridge. Now, we need to get rid of that. We want to put a survey module in now. The options we do have currently are quite limited. So we want to get a survey module. We'll definitely want to get a turret. If we can, I'd like to get rid of that and pick up an extra couple engines. Excellent. Now we can have more weapons, or we can go for another reactor. How much titanium? We have plenty of titanium. We can pick up another reactor now. Here's the thing to note, is that energy production is important. So, how much titanium do we have? How much tritium? So, we can afford... No, we can't afford to do that. Okay, we don't have quite enough titanium for another plasma turret. But that is okay. We have two weapons. It'll do for now. We have two engines, two reactors, which is good. Or do we have, did we pick up a second reactor? No, we didn't. But in any case, that should do for now. We've got two engines, which is good. That'll give us the speed we need. We've got two weapons, which is good. And we've got a nice basic little ship. So we're going to survey 3 planets. Let's be careful not to crash into the station. So basically to scan a planet and survey it, you hit X when you're by it. No surface anomalies, so we can move on to the next one. We've got no boost at this point, we've got no shields. Shields come later on, I'm not sure how far down the line. But there is a button for it, so I would guess that they are coming later down the line. Whether they're in game or not right now, I do not know. So, we scan that one. There's a surface anomaly, so we press X, sends out a shuttle which goes down to the planet, and boom, there we are. So we reboot the AI, we get research points, titanium, and chirolite, not sure how that's pronounced, and the survey ship comes back. Now on these you can lose crew if you choose the wrong option. There is some more in-depth ones than that. You can also lose crew whilst in combat, so we're just going to approach this star because we get research points. We might get research points. We don't get research points. Ooh, I didn't know that. We actually can take hull damage from being too close to the star. Okay, I had no idea. I know pulsars could damage you, which you do encounter one much later on in the game. But, never knew that could happen. Okay. I've put 5 hours into this game so far, and that's the first time that's ever happened to me. You learn something all the time. So, we scan this one. Has it got anything? Yes, it has. So we send out the shuttle. And comes back 40 titanium. Excellent. So, we have some more resources. We can possibly head back now. Yeah, head back to the station. We'll do that. Ooh, and there's 2 hostiles that have shown up. Let's test out our ship now. So that's that one destroyed. Didn't leave anything? No, damn it. So we'll just hail them, yeah. They don't. They never do. They never become peaceful. They just don't want to be friends. And boom. So we got some titanium from that, that's fine. We always need titanium. Titanium's one of the things you need the most, as I've found, especially in the later, towards the later stages. Well, not even the later stages, the medium stages. I don't think I'm even that far in the game yet on my actual save, which I hope I haven't overwritten because that's a lot of progress I made. Right, here we go. There's a station, and we got a hail. Blah 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 blah. News. Blah blah blah. Yep, yada. Research. So yeah, turbo thrusters are quite important. So we're gonna pick that up. Okay, so what we want to do is we also let's get ourselves. Yep, that's nice against the quicker ships. And we also are going to want a little bit of range, because that'll mean that we can engage enemies at a distance. Because they do outrange you to begin with if you don't pick that up. And we're also going to pick that up because as we take damage, our weapon systems, engines, etc., will slow down and degrade. So now we've got that, we're going to go back over to command section. Warp Nexus. Before we do that, we're going to pick up a third plasma turret, stick that onto the front there. Excellent. Now we've got something that resembles an actual ship. We could have any other configuration of ship that we want. We could have some very weird ones. But we're going to stick with that for now. So we're going to leave station. As you can see, our ship's looking more like a ship now. Oof. There's also this big thing over here, which we're going to fly over to. Then later in the game, you find out that's a travel portal that allows you to skip out a lot of different jumps. It becomes very useful late in the game where there's multiple areas that you get to through those things, and a lot of them are linked up with those as well. Doesn't allow you to jump everywhere, just between those sort of portal things, but yeah, we're going to make our way down. So here we are, here's the little wormhole thing, and you can see, poof, pulls us in when we're close, and we end up in the next section. Now what we're going to find here, obviously, it's a hostile ship. We've got plenty of weapons to deal with this guy now, he's not a threat really, so we'll just go ahead and attempt to take him down. As you can see, boom, just like that, easy. And he's dropped something, he's dropped Euritrium, good. And is an important resource as well. No surface anomaly detected on there. So we're going to move over to the next planet, which will be just over here. And we're going to give that a scan. Can't start survey with hostiles near. Of course, there's more. So it's not as simple as pointing and clicking on the hostile. You have to lead them if they're moving. So, yeah, it does get a bit intense at times. There we are, that's the hostiles there dealt with. Hostile ships do get more complex as you start going through. Okay. So we're going to force their way in. We lost 2 crews, you can see, but we got a lot of resources. And we'll just have to go back to the station at some point to replenish the crew. That doesn't even cost us, so that's good. So we got quite a lot of resources from that. There we are. So we're going to move on to the next. See a little survey ship comes in. As you can see, well, yeah, we have to visit the station to get the crew back at some point. But we don't need to do that yet. We can carry on and scan these other 2 planets. Yes, there's an auto thrust. There's also the feature to enable full thrust at all times, which is labelled incorrectly in this version. It says it's T, but it's actually Z. There we are, so neutrinos. Wonder if they're drifting. So we head on to the next place to survey. As you can see, this is where it gets a little bit simple. You just go from planet to planet and scan when you're not in combat. Crusty planet, there we are. No surface anomalies. And we're going to head on to the next jump conduit. There we are. As you can see, if we stop there, it actually does drag you in. It is actually like a proper wormhole kind of thing, not just you enter it. It will pull you in if you're in its little disc area. So as you can see, we're in the new system now. There's a slight nebula over there. There is stuff there which we'll go and take a look at. Got a class or C-class gas giant. As far as I'm aware, there's no colonisation or anything like that, so these planets, which will be really good for colonisation, I'm not sure whether they're planning that, but I think that would be a good feature to have, so you could kind of grow your... Okay, here we are. We're going to try that. Scan it with sonar. Well, we got some of it. That's alright. Oh, and hostiles! Here we go. Combat once again. We're just in range, just out of range now, but we're going to move in. As you can see, we've got another ship. We'll focus on that one. As you can see, you do have to lead the targets quite a bit. We've got some yttrium from that. So we're going to spin around here. You see, when you got the smaller ships, they are quite manoeuvrable. They are quite easy to throw around when you need them. When you get bigger ships, they can be. They're faster, but they're less manoeuvrable, obviously. I'm not sure if the shape of the ship or anything like that really affects performance yet. I'm not too sure on those mechanics. But I've just, I'm not that far in and I'm still figuring everything out. So, what have we got? We've got another ship there. We've got 3 planets to scan still. Oh, here we go. This is our first of the bigger ships. These are a lot more dangerous. They will start taking the armor down quite a bit. But even these are fairly weak compared to what we get later. As you can see, we can just blast that part. It's starting to take the hole a little bit. But the thing to aim for is that reactor module in the centre, or to just do enough damage to the blocks around it, then it just explodes. So we're going to go ahead and scan that planet, see if there's any anomalies there before we do this final hostile. So as you can see, we scan there. We can launch the survey now, but the enemy is far enough away. So we've got some platinum for that, excellent. Platinum is a good trading resource. I'm not sure if many things actually need it, but it is good for trading with other alien species, which we will encounter shortly. As you can see, this is one of their bases. We are going to take a bit of damage from this one because obviously this has a lot of cannons on it. But as you can see, we'll just aim for that centre bit. Kaboom! There we go. And we do get quite a few resources from taking that down. So we're gonna scan that planet there. Now I believe this one has like some sort of orbital big building at the centre. There we are. So we got that. Let's do that, and we get plenty of resources, especially titanium. So we're gonna move down to this green planet down here, and we have arrived on it. We're gonna give it a scan. This is an ocean world. So this is here we are. Send a diver to explore the wreck. 15 research points. Then we can communicate. And there we are. We can have those guys return to the ship. Now we can either jump through there or we can go over there. There's not really much over there. So what we actually gonna no, we're gonna explore. We're gonna explore over there. I feel this area is worth it, to be honest. So as you can see, the map is fairly large. You do end up pretty far away, like all the way down here. You can actually see that there's marks down there. So, here we go. We're entering into a nebula. I'm not sure if nebulas actually have any effects yet. Haven't encountered any that really do. Except for one which does obscure your sensors. Makes it a little bit harder to detect enemies. One I had to visually identify the enemy and fire upon it. It was fired upon me first, so. But here we go. We're heading deeper into Nebula. We have detected a planet. We're going to approach near the star. We're not going to go into it like we did before. There we are. And it's a binary star system, so as you can see, we got another star here. We're not going to get too close. And then we've got a planet inside the nebula. And there's a survey mission. So I don't think there's anything else around here. But there's worth a few extra research points, so we're going to get back to that jump over there. It's going to take us over to there, where we will continue our journey. As you can see, when your energy runs out, your thrusters are less, your main afterburner's less effective. As you can see, we gain the energy, there we are, and then runs out energy. And the energy regenerates slower when your engines are on, and obviously if you lift off the thrust, the energy comes back quicker. As we arrive here, there we are. And we got another one of those sort of Nexus things, which isn't active right now, but will be at some point in the near future. So we're going to go over to this first planet here on the left hand side. In actual fact, There's a ship out there, and it's not hostile. We're gonna go and talk to it. Alien Explorer, neutral. And we got friendlies. So they're on a search and rescue mission. Coincidentally, no. Come on, get far enough away. Scan that. Survey. Derelict starship. So what that artifact they've just picked up does activates those ring things that we found over there. Now, coincidentally, this ship is headed over here, which is coincidentally where their little question. That's the only thing, is that if you're too near, pressing X also has them, but also does the survey. So as you can see, there we are. So we can offer to bring them aboard. We're going to bring them aboard. And we're going to head over to that friendly alien ship and say, hey, we've recovered your crew. Here you are. So as you can see, there they are. And we got 50 gold from that. Excellent. So it turns out we have more sophisticated scanners than most of the alien species around here. So, we're gonna say that we're gonna request to have a trade alliance with them, obviously. And we have some questions about the races in this. Tell us about yourselves. So they're peaceful explorers. They certainly do not look peaceful, but we'll take their word for it. And they've had to defend themselves from the Chitik, those incredibly hostile aliens who attacked us out of pure spite. We've had some runnings. So the Chitik are insect based, and they swarm everywhere and expand and claim everyone as their territory. So let's continue. They got a forward base. That I know where that is. I have encountered it on my other save, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass to deal with at the early levels. But when you eventually get enough armor and weapons to deal with it, it's toast. Sure, sure. And we'll be on our way. So we've got one more planet to scan over here. We shall do so. No anomalies, so we're going to move on to the next system now. Then we travel all the way over here. There's another star system over here as well. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where you get your first bit of difficulty. As you can see, there's a lot of hostiles up ahead, and you're about to see just how intense this game could get. We've got multiple classes of hostile ships. See, the smaller ones will move off. The smaller ones will try and flank. The bigger ships will, oh no, here we go. I'm getting a direct attack from these guys. Just gonna give out a scan. No surface anomalies detected. We can do that whilst moving up. That had some resources by it. Get back there. That's gold, right? Yeah, there we are, 9 gold. So we had hostiles up there. As you can see, there is more. We don't want to boost too much, because obviously we need the energy for our weapons. So as you can see, there is a lot of hostiles around here. We got that ship coming in. They're fairly easy to deal with. They break apart quite quickly. And they flew into the sun. Well, that dealt with that for us. As you can see, they're doing quite a bit of damage to our armour, but we've got them. Not much of a threat to deal with. So another enemy ship down here, we're going to go and deal with that. Again, we don't want to take too much off our... So this is a Chitic cargo ship. Doesn't produce, well, doesn't have any weapons. But never mind, they attacked us. So we'll be killing them here. And taking their cargo. Not much cargo. And there's one of their ships, one of their destroyers. There's no point even trying to hail them. They never respond to anything. Or they'll just insult you and say you're gonna die, no surrender. And they will not surrender either, so. Which is funny because I seem to have a knack for blowing these guys up constantly. You think they would have learned by now. So as you can see, over time, your hull will start to regenerate. As you can see, if I leave my mouse there, it is regenerating. The more crew you have, the quicker your hull regenerates. Obviously, I'm down 2 crew, so not much of an effect. Later stages of the game, you get habitation modules, which increase the amount of crew you have. So you'll be able to repair quicker, you have more crew to use on survey missions. So there we are, we got more resources from that. Excellent. So we've got a few more planets over here and another jump point. Obviously there's also another system that is separate to that jump point. That jump goes all the way over here. There's a star system up there. We're going to go and explore in just a second once we scan these 2 planets. So we're going to give that a quick scan. No surface anomalies detected. I believe this one does have something. Boom. There we are. Anomaly detected. So this was the capital city of a species that is long extinct. We're gonna salvage the titanium. We need it more than the dead, after all. And if we didn't do it, somebody else would have anyway, so might as well be us. So we're approaching this new out-of-the-way system. There is going to be hostiles here, so we're going to be in for a bit of a fight. And we're approaching, so we're going to want to not boost and get off there and scan that. Anything? Yes, there is. So we're going to launch our survey team. And we got 4 platinum. Not much, but anyhow. So there is another planet and there is another jump point. So we got some more resources from that. Excellent. And we got more alien species. So these guys are purely traders. Are you threatening to eat me? We wouldn't do that. So as you can see, we can trade with these guys. We're going to do that right now. We can also get information from these guys. A bit weird, but they're completely friendly. They just float around and trade with people. So we're going to move on to the next system here. The next system from here does have a nexus point that we can use to get back to the station quicker. So we're going to jump through. We're going to end up up here. As you see, there is another jump point. There is other planets. Somewhere along here there is somewhere we could use, but no service doublies. So we're going to move on. There's another friendly ship. Another one of the traders. We're going to try not to crash into them. We're going to head over here. So we've got some more research points there to use. Excellent. And enemy ships inbound. A lot of enemy ships inbound. As you can see, enemies do, further on in the game you get, do increase in difficulty, firing missiles and stuff. That's an important ship to get rid of right now, because that ship will kill us very quickly. As you can see, eventually you do run out of energy, the weapons fire slower, you take hull damage, weapons fire slower. As you can see, our hull is taking damage here. It will affect how our weapons work. But I think we can handle them. As you can see, we lost a crew member. We've got to get out of here. Our hull is critical. There was a resource up there we could use, but that might have despawned now. Yeah. Damn it. So you can see our hull is slowly regenerating slower than before because we've lost crew. That ship is... Ship's gone through there. Okay. So we got some more titanium, which is good. That ship will just dock back anyway. We're not going to bother flying over to there. We're going to go through there up to here. where I do believe there is one of those Nexus things. So we'll give that a scan. And we've got another survey point. Excellent. So this is where one of those things where it's a little bit complex. So we're going to go east, south, south, east, south. Boom! There we are. And that's the first hint of what could have happened. So we can see there is a system here, which will, well, there's a planet here, which will go ahead and give that a scan. And in here, we won't go to that green marker, but there is a little portal in this area here. We'll get some of those asteroids out of the way. They might contain some resources. God, I missed that one, didn't I? As you can see. So we can use that to get back to any of these points. So we're going to go back to the One Spire station. And voila. We're here, facing the same way that we were. We'll head back to the station. And there we are. Got hail. So there we are, we've refilled our crew. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. As you can see, we got plenty of stuff to build more of our ship, and we got stuff to research more points into. This is quite a fun little game. It's quite addictive. You can spend a lot of time playing this, going from system to system, getting into combat, customizing your ships to your liking. I would highly recommend it. It's not that pricey on Steam. I think it's around £15 or something like that. Might be more, might be less. There's currently a discount on it. And I'll also throw in some keys into the description. First come, first served basis. And I might even try and work on getting a giveaway going so that if you don't view this video first, you'll still be able to get a code for free. Very like, comment, and subscribe. This was a very good game, Starcom Nexus on Steam. And thank you for watching.